In this video, I want to show you a trick of how to memorize all the values associated with the unit circle. So when I'm given a unit circle, I usually try to color coordinate it. If you notice that I've got the blue line here, and that's 30 degrees right here, and then the red one is at 60, and then the middle one, the green one, is at 65 degrees. Then I have it reflected along the y-axis so that my other side at 120, 135, and 150 degrees, it's all reflected along the y-axis. That should be blue. Okay, so I color coordinate it for you. And same thing here and here, and the red is 240 and 300, and the green has 355 and 225. Okay, so that means these same colors are all connected with each other. And what do I mean by that? Now, when you have a unit circle, by definition, the radius is 1. Therefore, if I look at this point, oops, let me change the color since we are color coordinated. Okay, there we go. So at this point here, the radius is 1, the y-axis value, y coordinate is 0. And on top here, x is 0, y is 1. Then I go to 180 degrees, I should have -1 and 0. At 270 degrees, this dot, the black dot on the unit circle should have 0, -1. Okay, so that's my basics. Once I have my basics done, the rest of it is all associated with all the values in the first quadrant. Also, just let me point out that I have quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4 marked out counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. So now let's look at in the first quadrant. What I'm gonna do is I am gonna put a fraction bar in everything. Okay, now do you notice that? Let's look at the x value. There is 0. For x value, it goes from 0, let me highlight that, to 1, right? From small to large. Then next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 on there. Oops, why does my thing look like that? 1. Hold on, let me adjust my pen. I think my tip is a little off. So I'm going to put 1 here. Then I'm going to put 2 here. And then I'm going to put a blue 3 there. Okay. Oops, sorry. Numerator, not denominator. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, on the other side, I'm going to go the opposite. It's 1, 2, and 3 here. Okay. Now, after that, I'm going to add the radicals I'm going to add the denominators. And the denominator, remember the palm that Mrs. Friedman used in class represents 2. So that I'm going to put the 2 everywhere. Now, next thing I do is I'm going to add a radical sign on top here. So that's root 3, that's root 2, and root 1 is just 1. And then I go back down, root 3, root 2, and root 1 is just root 1. Now I'm done in my first quadrant, right? Everybody sees that I'm done in my first quadrant. and there's no more blanks to be filled. Now the magic begins. You use, let's look at the blue markers right here. This is for 30 degrees. I've got my x value, I've got my y value. Then I'm just going to extend it to 210 degrees. I'm going to write down everything. Just copy it straight down. And I see 360 is blue as well. I'm going to copy it straight down. And I see 150 as well. I'm going to copy it. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same with the green markers. So it's root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2 in every part where I have green. Just follow the line. Now I've got all of that. Now the last one is the red one is 1 over 2 and then root 3 over 2. Now, this is all done. I finished copying. The last thing you need to check is the signs. Make sure that you have the right signs in all the quadrants. So let me just write a reminder on this side. Signs. Positive or negative? So obviously in the first quadrant is all positive. X is positive, y is positive. In the second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. So in the third quadrant, x is negative, y is negative. So I'm going to add negative sign on both, on the blue. And last quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. Then simply you just use that and follow everything and just copy it down. That's negative, negative on the third. Fourth is positive, negative. Then I can do red is, in the second quadrant is negative, positive. Third quadrant is negative, negative on red. Fourth quadrant is positive, negative on y. So that's it, guys. I have all the values down in a unit circle. Very straightforward. So again, just to repeat the process, I usually color code it and extend it. Then I work on the first quadrant by going 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 2, 1, and then that's the entire thing over 2, and then I put on a square root over every single number. Now, just a quick note. So that's 1, that's 2. Just and then the third one is I check the signs. Check signs. Is it positive or is it negative? And I'm done. Okay. Just a quick note, when I do in the first quadrant, when I do the 1, 2, 3, how do I know which direction it goes? In other words, how do I know that it's 1, 2, 3 this way on the x-axis? So all you need to do is to look at this 0 here, and then look at this x value at 1. So to go from 0 to 1 is increasing, therefore I'm going to 1, 2, 3. Now you look at the y value here is 0, and at 90 degrees y equals 1. So it's going top to bottom increasing, therefore 1, 2, 3 go that direction. Okay? Once you have the first quadrant, the rest of it just matched up with the colors and reflected all the way down to the quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. That's it, guys. That's the unit circle. I'll see you in class. Bye.